Welcome to the fourth annual conference of Mitvim Institute, the Israeli Institute for Regional Foreign Policy. I'm Merav, Kahana-Dagan, the deputy head of the institute, and I'm excited to open this event, which in the spirit of the time is held on Zoom and not face-to-face as we normally like to have it. I would like to thank all those who are with us. We have ambassadors and diplomats, members of Knesset, guests from different countries in the world, partners along the way. I would also like to thank all the speakers who will be here with us and the staff of the Mitvim Institute who happily grows and expands in the last few years. Dr. Nimrod Goren, the head of the Institute, Dr. Roy Kibrik, Gabby Mitchell, Dr. Maya Zion Tzitkiyahu, Dr. Leon Leres, former MK Ksenia Svetlova, Arnold Spiekel, Ayelet Gil-Shoret, and Arik Segal, our technology advisor, who is here to help us with technological issues, and you can approach him on the chat. I'd like to in particularly thank the Friedrich-Ebert-Stiftung for their support and partnership in this conference, but mostly for this many years partnership, your trust and faith and support that you give. I'd like to personally thank Dr. Pasch and Mickey Drill for working together on a number of projects which lie at the very core of the Institute. To those of you who do not know us as well, and that's the first time you join us, I'd like to tell you that the Mitvim Institute was established in 2011 as a research institute aiming to improve foreign policy of Israel, enhancing the foreign relations, and enhancing the integration of the State of Israel in its nearby vicinities, Europe and the Mediterranean basin, and also to advance Israeli-Palestinian peace. In the framework of the work of the Institute, we generate knowledge and advance recommendations by conducting studies, writing articles and position papers, conducting polls and surveys, and publishing monthly reports. We invest much effort in working with MKs, government agencies, NGOs, media outlets, foreign diplomats, and other think tanks around the world. All this is what we do together with the staff of the Institute and very vast network of researchers, policy fellows, and think tanks, and that's a good opportunity to thank them all. A bit about this year that is something that we're still undergoing. Year 2020 will most probably be remembered as a very special year, a year in which the entire world, as well as we, was impacted by COVID. On the one hand, it seems that everything was put to a stop and froze, but on the other hand, year 2020 is a year of major changes on the global as well as the regional level. Beside all those challenges, and despite them, we continue to strive for amending Israel's foreign policy. In some places, we see progress and developments, but in other places, we still haven't. This past year, we managed to advance a joint work with MKs, ministers, and government agencies to improve foreign policy, to strengthen the Israeli relations, foreign relations. We held political dialogues with think tanks and experts from Jordan, the PA, the Emirates, and Turkey. We wanted to highlight the importance of our relations with the EU, and we assisted in improving our relations with them. Earlier on this month, we published the Index of Israeli Foreign Policy for year 2020. This is the annual study that we conduct this 8th year in a row by the Rafi Smith Institute together with the FES, and you'll be able to find it on our website. In our event today, we'll have two sessions and two rounds of political perspectives. The first one will deal with Israel's relations with the Middle East, Europe, and the Mediterranean basin, after which Ofter Shelach, MK Ofter Shelach, and Minister Orit Farkash-Cohen will give their addresses. In the second session, we'll deal with Israeli diplomacy in Arab countries and the Islamic countries, after which member of Knesset Nitzan Horowitz and Minister Aida Suleiman will be giving their address. So this event is broadcast and recorded. It is broadcast on Facebook and YouTube. Please make sure that your mics are turned off. If you have any questions, you can write them in the chat, and the coordinators will collect them all. I'm honored to invite Dr. Paul Pasch, the director of the Ebert Fund here in Israel, to give his address.
Thank you very much, Merav. I'm also very excited. This is the 4th annual conference of Mitvim. I learned that anything that happens more than 3 times you can call traditional. So now we have a tradition of Mitvim annual conferences, and that is something very positive for Israel, for the region, for our relations between Israel and Europe. Shalom to everybody, to the members of Knesset, to the colleagues, to the friends, to the distinguished diplomats. As a German, I would like to especially welcome my ambassador, Dr. Vasum Rainer. Herzlich willkommen. I would like to mention only a few points in this very important cooperation that we have with Mitvim. We are honored to can consider ourselves as a strategic partner of Mitvim since it was founded in 2011. And we are especially proud that Mitvim is among the very, very few organizations that is still conducting policy dialogue with Turkey, with Turkish colleagues, with Palestinian colleagues, with colleagues from Jordan, and also with a lot of think tanks and organizations that are involved in the East-Med dialogue. The Foreign Policy Index was already mentioned by Merav. What the people of Mitvim don't like to talk about too much is their successful ranking in the think tank index of the University of Pennsylvania. And I do believe that this is really something that they can be very, very proud of. We as Friedrich-Ebert Foundation are also ranked quite well, but we have an annual budget of 190 million euros, and we have more than 600 employees and offices in more than 100 countries around the world. Mitvim is working with very modest means and is ranked 20th in the category of most innovative policy ideas and 24th, among others, in the category of best regional study centers. And really heartfelt congratulations to that successful ranking that you achieved there. Mitvim plays a very important role in maintaining a dialogue with Israeli actors and the governing institutions of the European Union. This is something that is for us as a European organization of utmost importance. And at the moment, it looks like there is really some opportunity to renew and strengthen that important relationships that suffered a little bit in past years. In the recent months, since the signing of the peace and normalization agreements between Israel, the United Arab Emirates, Bahrain, and most recently with Sudan, the very competent staff of Mitvim helped us to see and understand a little bit beyond the euphorism that was so present in Israeli public discussion and see these agreements in a different or in the right perspective. Thank you very much for that very important contribution. Last but not least, I would like to thank the whole team of Mitvim, the very competent colleagues in all the different fields for this very fruitful cooperation. My special thanks goes to Nimrod Goren and Merav Kahana-Dagan, as well as to my colleague Miki Drill, who were the key figures in organizing today's event. I wish us all interesting proceedings and discussions. Thank you very much.